Well, boys, today is tomorrow, and XQC. We're talking about XQC today because he's getting sued for over $10 million. Well, the $10 million is to settle the lawsuit if he doesn't want to go through with it. And I think everyone that's watching this video, we already know who's suing him. Yes, his ex, yes, XQC's ex, Adept, is suing him again, trying to get some kind of money out of him. Even though she lost the last lawsuit, she's going at it again. She's like, round two. Now, for some background, just to clear out the fog a little bit so you guys know why she's suing him again, it's because in Adept's mind, her and XQC were married under a kind of weird law that was in Texas because they lived in Austin, Texas for a while, because you guys know streamers actually are moving to Texas because the taxes there are pretty good for streamers. But there's this law called common law marriage. And the thing about common law marriage is both people have to say they're married to one another. Both people have to show outwardly that they're married to one another. They have to actually like do things as a married couple, not like as boyfriend and girlfriend. They have to be like, oh yeah, we're married. Even if you're not married in Texas, you can be like, oh yeah, we're married. And then after a little bit of time, it's not like, oh, you can just be married automatically, but people can start recognizing you as a couple and as like an actual marriage. But the thing about common law marriage is basically like trying to prove someone defamed you in court. Because if one person says, we're not married on any paperwork, we're not married in the eyes of our friends, we live together, yeah, but I'm like, at the end of the day, for like half of their relationship, XQC was calling her his roommate. So proving common law marriage is an extremely difficult thing, and so Adept wasn't able to lock down XQC on that and get any kind of alimony, which is what she was trying to get out of the common law marriage. Is she was trying to get alimony saying that they were now divorced or divorcing, and she was trying to claim that she deserves some kind of money out of the quote-unquote marriage that they were never in. Now, Adept may have lost her first lawsuit against XQC and the whole common law marriage thing in Texas, but she did get something out of it, alright? She didn't come out of it empty-handed. She sold XQC's McLaren. Yeah, she sold this man's, I'm pretty sure, $250,000 car.
Well, how is this even real life?
So Adept went on a stream after this whole debacle where XQC was like, yo, one of my fans saw her sell my car. And obviously, instead of her justifying it or saying like, oh, XYZ thing happened, so the car had to be sold, she basically was trying to make it seem like she owned the car. Like Adept was the one paying almost $300,000 for the McLaren. She was trying to make it seem like she was the one that owned the car.
Is we get in the car and we go somewhere randomly, right? What? So how does a vehicle registration work? How does vehicle registration work? You've never bought a car in your life. How does vehicle registration work? How does it work? Yeah, exactly. Thank you. There are adults in the chat telling you the answers that you need to know right there. Thank you. Thank you. Exactly. Yes, exactly. How do you register a car in someone's name? What do they need? Thank you, adults in the fucking chat. Thank you, adults in the chat. Thank you very much. Exactly. Anyways, now that the adults are done talking, what I'm saying is
she illegally sold his car is what she's saying here, because she's saying that the car was registered under her name because XQC at the time didn't have a valid driver's license. Now, this whole story of her essentially owning the car in her name would make sense if Adept didn't do one little tricky thing.
Look, Carfax, right, which I do have. Who knows how often this shit updates? But we have to look at the Carfax, right? And I was gracious enough to have the VIN number. Don't ask.
You dig, bro. You like to dig.
Don't ask no questions. So now, when I was looking at it, some things stuck out to me. Well, they have it listed at roughly around $290,000. And you're like, well, didn't he only pay about $300,000 for it? Yeah, how did it retain its value so good? I think it was maybe 350. You're about to see, right? Now, what does this say? This is where shit go left real quick. All right, so when you go down to it, you like, oh shit. Now we know XQC bought the car in 2021, but who in the hell bought the car in 2023? Oh my goodness, what the, like,
Hey, yo, what the?
this shit looked like it was sold in 2023. Don't worry, we're gonna get the exact date it was sold, okay? And looks like they had ownership for 2 months. All right, now I have a theory, we'll get to it. So it had 29 miles on it when he bought it and 49.23 when someone else bought it. So it looks like, somebody bought the car December at or around December 11th, 2023. Now here's something to take note of, right? I know X got the car in 2021, and I want to say he had it before December. Who knows if this is an accurate date? Now, there's a hot theory out there that maybe she sold it to herself in order to sell it to someone else.
And well, the theory kind of holds up because XQC confirmed that, yeah, she did sell his car.
Andrew, you can look at it. Look at it. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, listen. There's no doubt about it. That does look like it. It's
So a little bit of time passed. The legal battle between them for a common law marriage was resolved, which resulted in XQC winning. They weren't in a common law marriage, which means Adept wasn't getting any of that alimony that she so rightfully deserved. So obviously, with XQC now not being in, any kind of legal battle with Adept, he's like, well, I do want my, $200,000 or $300,000 that she sold my car for, back. That was my car. We weren't married at all. So then he had to countersue Adept.
so that's a good thing. Middle of the stream, like a couple hours ago, I got a text saying that lawsuit was received. Served and received. They looked in court, bro. I'm not gonna show up. I don't think I have to go. Also, I think that's lawsuit 1 of 3. So good luck.
XQC tried suing Adept for, illegally selling his car, but the judge in the case, from what XQC was saying, just didn't care about it. I guess the judge thought it was like too petty for him. He had other things to worry about. He probably did like actual murders and R-wordists and ditties running around. So, the judge probably did have a lot of things on his plate, and a civil suit over someone selling someone's car really wasn't in the judge's main priorities. He probably actually did have real cases to go after. So, can't really blame the judge all that much.
The party said, fuck this shit. What I think, allegedly, said, fuck this shit.
So after the whole case was dismissed, obviously XQC's like, I'm not just gonna sit here and allow this woman that stole my $300,000 car to just keep the money. So obviously he's appealing it. And you know what? What I will say XQC should do, even if he keeps losing, just keep appealing it. She's gonna run through that 300K pretty fast. She's gonna burn through it, because now we move on to the next part where XQC is getting re-sued by Adept in California. I know this is getting confusing, but Adept is now suing XQC again in California under, trying to get common law marriage. She's trying to get that alimony. Because, Adept really didn't have a career before XQC. XQC gave her a literal career. They have no children. She had zero responsibilities throughout her whole entire life with XQC other than stream and make money, and just stream with literally the biggest streamer on Twitch. And somehow she wasn't able to turn that into a career, and yet she thinks she deserves alimony for a marriage that didn't even exist, because not even XQC Whenever they were dating, Fully was saying, oh yeah, we're actually dating now. For the longest time, XQC was like, oh no, Adept, no, she's my roommate. She's just been my roommate for the past 3 houses. I'm like, my guy, how are you going to sue this person whenever for like a good chunk of your relationship, you was known as the quote unquote roommate? And somehow, for a lawsuit, she thinks it's such a slam dunk. For some reason, she thinks, you know what, if you want to settle this, $10 million. Like, bitch, get out of here. She thinks this alimony lawsuit's supposed to be such a slam dunk this time in California. But if XQC really wants to settle this, which he never ever shown any sign of wanting to settle any kind of lawsuit with Adept, she's like, $10 million will call it even. Like, you sold his car. Like, he is no longer going to settle with you. Maybe at some point, like in the past where you sold his car and stuff, maybe you could have asked for like maybe $1 million or $2 million. He would be like, you know what? Screw it. Take it. Just go away and leave me alone. But you sold his car. Illegally. So I'm pretty sure X wants to make sure that all that money runs dry.
Right? And I didn't give a fuck because there's nothing valid in what was said. And there's nothing that is relevant. And they were doing the same thing. That thing was attached to some letter that was asking for 10 mil so that it doesn't come out as like. Of course, the lawsuit was never going to go anywhere because it's not valid. There's nothing real about it. It was a complete fabrication. So that it was like, oh, this is going to go public, and these are the accusations, and we want 10 mil. They want 10 mil, brother. I sat with the lawyers. I said, listen, on my behalf, even if they ask to settle for $10, it's gonna be a fucking no. Okay, I don't give a what amount it's gonna be. Okay, we are tackling this head on, off the rip. We're not doing this. So to think that they were gonna get 10 mil, brother, you weren't gonna get $10, motherfucker. You weren't getting 10 fucking dollars.
Yeah, XQC said we don't negotiate with terrorists around here. Unlike Twitch, who literally platforms terrorists. Literally, they unbanned a Houthi terrorist, and on top of that, they allowed people like Frogan and Hassan to just run around saying all the most heinous things about US citizens in their $1 million mansions. Click this video right here to see how is Twitch protecting these terrorists. But boys, other than that, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you all tomorrow.